a guy like Barrios, man. Barrios is experienced. I don't give a damn what anybody say. He got a lot of experience, man. He got the best resume at 147 pounds, right? He's a champion. You know what I mean? He's been in the ring with Tank Davis as well. He's been in the ring. Who else was the guy he been in the ring with? That was
Pacquiao recently, obviously.
Pacquiao recently, and there was another one.
Thurman, was it Thurman?
Yeah, Keith one-time Thurman. So I mean, he's felt resistance. He's felt resistance that every guy, a guy like Garcia, you know, his last performance wasn't that great. I expect him to have a better performance this time around. You know, he gonna need to have a better performance, because if he brings that type of performance into the ring with Barrios is gonna eat him up.
Back to him and Devin fight. In the Devin fight, he looked like one of the greatest fighters in the world. But then got caught. With him being caught, and then with him turning around, then he fighting Rolly, and then looked way less than average.
Yeah, he looked terrible.
So I think that I have to go with Barrios, because I mean,
why not, right? I mean, he has a WBC title. People always got something to say about me not being a world champion, but somehow making more money than them, you know? I mean, I just got to flex on them one time. But, you know, so I'm here just to, you know, settle that noise a little bit and just really show everybody that when I'm at my, you know, best, that I could really do damage to anybody at 147. So, you know, I'm here to make a statement. That's really what it's about. I'm here to make a statement and just do Mario Barrios like nobody else did it.
Tim Bradley, a man who knows a thing or two about walking through fire, has stripped away the hype to reveal a glaring technical disaster waiting to happen. But he's not the only one. There is a traitor in the corner, a blueprint from 2025 that was never fixed, and a consensus among the experts that Ryan Garcia is about to face a nightmare he can't speed bag his way out of.
So, you know, interesting fight. It ain't no far-gone conclusion, like I said, that Garcia just gonna walk through a guy like Barrios. Barrios got a lot of experience. He wants to hold on to that strap, you know. He got a lot of confidence in the ability coming off that draw with Manny Pacquiao. He felt that type of pressure from a legend. So, look, I think, hey, look, right now, I favor Barrios in this fight right now. I favor Barrios. I know a lot of people favoring Garcia, but shoot, I favor Barrios. He got a good jab, good fundamentals. You know what I'm saying? He got a good boxing IQ, you know, and I think he's the more complete fighter.
Tim Bradley, a man who knows a thing or two about walking through fire, has stripped away the hype to reveal what he believes is a glaring technical disaster waiting to happen. But he's not the only one sounding the alarm. There's a traitor in the opposite corner, a blueprint from 2025 that was never fixed, and a growing consensus among experts that Ryan Garcia is about to face a nightmare he can't simply speed his way out of.
There's not a far-gone conclusion that Ryan can take out a guy like Barrios, man. Barrios is experienced. I don't give a damn what anybody say. He got a lot of experience, man. He got the best resume at 147 pounds, right? He's a champion. You know what I mean? He's been in the ring with Tank Davis as well. He's been in the ring. Who else was the guy he been in the ring with? That was
Pacquiao recently, obviously.
Pacquiao recently, and there was another one.
Thurman, was it Thurman?
Yeah, Keith one-time Thurman. So I mean, he's felt resistance. He's felt resistance at every single level, right? You know, even with the southpaw. So I mean, you got a guy like Garcia. You know, his last performance wasn't that great. I expect him to have a better performance this time around. You know, he gonna need to have a better performance, because if he brings that type of performance into the ring with Barrios is gonna eat him up. It's gonna be easy work. He gonna eat him up, man. But see, this is the thing, man. I noticed one thing about Garcia. Garcia don't like power. Now, does Barrios has enough pop on his shots to keep Garcia honest? That's what I worry about, right? And if Garcia land that left hook, can Barrios take it? You know, because that seemed to be an issue for Barrios, you know, upstairs and down.
Bradley isn't just predicting a loss. He's practically drawing the map for how it happens. If you've watched his breakdowns on ESPN or his no-filter segments, you know Bradley doesn't care about feelings. He cares about mechanics. And right now, he sees a broken machine. The issue isn't speed. It's the same fatal flaw that has haunted Garcia since the beginning. Bradley points out that even now, in 2026, Ryan still lifts his chin every single time he loads up that famous left hook. It's a tick, a bad habit. Against lesser fighters, you get away with it. But Bradley argues Mario Barrios is the worst possible opponent to try that against. Barrios owns one of the most disciplined, straight-shooting jabs in the division. Bradley's assessment is brutal in its simplicity. Ryan will try to be flashy, lift his chin to throw the hook, and Barrios will blind him with a stiff jab before burying a straight right hand down the pipe. It's not a matter of if, it's when.
Puncher. Big puncher? Yeah, his hook. If he catches you with your hook, you don't come up.
47?
Well, he's fighting at 47.
But you consider him a welterweight puncher?
You'd probably have more nuance to that. No, I remember.
Boots Ennis. You got.
No, Boots is at 54. Boots at 54.
No, but where was he?
He was at 47, yeah.
Where was he world champion at?
47, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you think Ryan's got a bigger punch than that? Bigger punch than, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because when Ryan touches you.
No, when he touches lightweights, see,
Yeah.
he hasn't dropped real welterweights.
Okay, yep.
Is there even a real welterweight
That he's fought.
in the
Not
welterweight
yet.
division? I think Conor Benn's the only real welterweight left
Yeah.
at 147. So this new welterweight game is lightweights moving up. Okay? There's no OG 147. And with that, I can't give Ryan the credit you're trying to give him.
But the physical
Former champion Keith Thurman shares a similar sentiment, though his focus is preparation. When breaking down the matchup, Thurman leans toward Barrios if Garcia doesn't take training camp seriously. He emphasizes Barrios' invaluable experience against elite competition, specifically citing their own 12-round battle and Barrios' recent grueling fight with Manny Pacquiao, a bout that seasoned him for exactly this level of pressure.
We had together, guys, and I know it's going to be a great fight. I know you're working hard.
How could you, Joe? That's messed up.
Pardon?
I said, how could you? That's messed up.
What's messed up?
You know what I said? I mean, just can't believe you're doing this to me. That's insane.
What?
You hurt my heart.
Well,
For real.
I'm still not
You
sure.
broke my heart. It's over.
Uh,
It's over.
Uh,
We're done.
again?
We're done. Yeah, I'm breaking up with you again.
Now, how did I do that?
You just broke my heart. Just move on. This
All right. Well, I thought I was being.
Now you were being sweet.
thought I was
That's
being-
like.
I thought I was being courteous and generous, and that's what I'm trying to be here. And I hope you don't take offense to it,
It's cool.
because I don't ever want to offend fighters. I love what I
I'm
do.
offended.
Uh-huh.
Too late. I'm offended.
You what?
I'm offended already. I'm
Okay.
hurt.
All right, good.
I'm offended,
glad.
hurt, all that.
All right. Okay. Well, look. I mean, I'm still not following it exactly, but all I
It's
can
very
do,
simple.
all I can do is try to be gracious to you. Okay.
No, I get it. I
And-
get it.
And I got to support my guy, and that's what I'm doing. And I'm here 120% for Mario Barrios. It's business.
It's always is.
No, it's not always business.
What about the
There-
love? There's no love.
But it's not always business. There's a lot of personal stuff that goes down behind the scenes that nobody knows about. I get that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day,
All the long car rides. All the long car
at the end of
rides.
the day, I
the long
gotta work, don't
They're
I?
gone.
Yeah. Okay.
They never happen.
All
That's
right.
insane.
Okay. Exactly. All right.
But the physical danger may pale in comparison to the psychological warfare happening in the opposite corner. This fight carries a subplot that feels more like a movie script than a sporting event. Joe Goosen isn't just Mario Barrios' trainer. He's the man who knows where all of Ryan Garcia's skeletons are buried. The traitor narrative, as Ryan calls it, is the emotional core of this fight. We saw the cracks at the press conference when Ryan looked Goosen in the eye and said, "You broke my heart."
When Mario Barrios fought Manny Pacquiao, I had watched him through the presser process, the press conferences, and he was always such a class act, Mario. And I said, boy, he's just really, and he's treating Manny very well. The legend Manny he was treating him respectfully, and that impressed me because I grew up in the old days where sportsmanship and respect for your fellow players or what have you, whatever sport you were, that was paramount. And so that impressed me. And at the end of the fight, I did say something on air as a closing statement. because we had spoken about the fight ad nauseum. And at the end of the day, I said, the world needs more men like Mario Barrios. I was impressed with his class and dignity and the way he handled himself. Who knew a couple months later I'd be training him?
Right.
So the irony of that is just, incredible. But I just really, really respect Mario, and his abilities are beyond what I actually thought they were. Now, I had announced quite a few of his fights, so I had seen what he was capable of doing. I mean, especially was performing very well against Tank. He beat, Ugas, who had beaten Pacquiao. I mean, he beat Ugas unmercifully, and it was just brilliant. It was just brilliant performance. So he very talented. So to get the call for Mario Barrios was like, what fool would turn that down?
Right.
Right. I mean,
That's not a fighter talking. That's a hurt kid. And that is exactly what Goosen is banking on. Goosen isn't guessing about Ryan's stamina or his reaction to pressure. He knows. He spent entire training camps trying to fix Ryan's bad habits. Now, in a twist of fate, his job is to exploit them. He knows the triggers. He knows exactly what to say to make Ryan lose his composure and abandon the game plan. It's the ultimate inside job.
Idea that Barrios, to Paulie's point, might be the most vulnerable person in the mix. This idea that obviously he's targeting his shot at 147. What do you think of it?
Well, I mean, everything the champ said is absolutely right. In terms of this fight and it being made, it's already a black eye on boxing. You got a guy who's coming off a loss. You got a guy who hasn't won a fight at 147. Not to mention, and we didn't mention this yet, he's got a drug scandal in the middle of that. So it's not even that he's just hasn't been winning and has proved himself at this level. He's literally cheated to get here and been caught and was suspended for it. But this is boxing, like the champ said, and it's unfortunate that we reward people who fail up. And just because they're popular, just because they put butts in seats, and Ryan does do that. And listen, I know, champ, you think that Ryan is going to knock Barrios out? He might, but he also might fumble the bag again, and he might pull a Rollies and go out there and throw 7 punches around and end up losing to a guy like Barrios.
If he throws 7, Chris, champ, if he throws 7 punches around, this will be the most boring title fight in fight history, because Mario Barrios throws 4 punches around when it's convenient for him too, as he did against Pacquiao. So
champ, right, this brings my next point. You cut me off, Barbie. Did we bet draw on this fight? Because Barrios has
Barrios back-to-back draws.
Back-to-back triple draws. It'll be he had a draw against Pacquiao, and then he had a draw against Ramos, and now if he fights Ryan and they go out there and they combine total 50 punches in a 12-rounder, we could get a third draw.
I hope Barrios is investing his money well, at least, because he's definitely made more money than his ability has come to show. But I'm always happy if a guy can at least take care of himself. I hope Barrios is at least investing his money well, because when the party's over, it's going to be over. This guy's never going to be back at the top.
Very, very true. But
then there's the cold, hard logic of the full-timer versus the part-timer. Paulie Malignaggi has been pounding this point for months, and it's difficult to argue with his reasoning. Boxing isn't something you do with one foot out the door. Malignaggi categorizes Barrios as a full-time professional, a fighter who lives the life, stays in shape, and grinds year-round. In contrast, Ryan Garcia is often labeled a part-time fighter, distracted by fame, social media, and outside noise. Paulie warns this matchup is a ticking time bomb and introduces what he calls the 4-round rule. If Ryan doesn't land a nuclear shot in the first 4 rounds, the math changes completely. Barrios, coming off that grueling draw with Manny Pacquiao, has proven he owns championship-level conditioning. Malignaggi predicts that if this fight goes past the 4th round, we're going to watch Ryan get physically drowned by a man who simply refuses to get tired.
Live up to it as a pro. I mean, his fame here is based on his popularity and being an influencer and so on and so forth. And good on him that he's able to do that in this generation. But we're still waiting for that performance in the ring. Again, I mentioned a couple of good performances good wins. Duarte and Luke Campbell from here, good wins. But we're still waiting for him to become world champion. We're still waiting. And even if he can become world champion against Mario Barrios, listen, you got that. You checked off that box. You won a world championship. But with Garcia, because the talent is there and you see it, you want to see a little bit more. You sort of hold on to a higher standard because there is so much talent, or at least want to say potential that could be there. And you're wondering, and you're sort of sometimes clamoring whether, dude, come on, live up to it already, because we see it. Do you see it, or are you just going to waste it? We'll find out.
And what does this tell you, Chris, about the 147-pound division that, he has moved up to 140, didn't make weight, now going to 47? This idea that he sees a vulnerability in the traditionally great welterweight division that might not be there, and he could maybe get one, if not multiple titles. What are your thoughts on his long-term ability at 147?
Well, I mean, we got to see what he shows up when he shows up against Mario Barrios with. If he goes out there and puts up another Rollies fight, then he's going nowhere, and this really could be the end of him getting anywhere near title fights. But who knows? I mean, he's hasn't earned this one. He's still getting it. But we talked about his talent, and I don't discount his talent at all. I think his speed, his power is legit. He did show toughness and grit in that Haney fight. If the kid does show up, he can knock off a weaker champion like a guy like Mario.
And we don't even have to look far back for evidence. The ghost of May 2025 looms large over this fight. Everyone remembers the loss to Rolando Raleigh Romero. At the time, excuses were made, but analysts on Reddit and Twitter now view that fight as the true blueprint. Romero is awkward and chaotic, yet he still managed to frustrate and pressure Ryan. The terrifying reality for Garcia fans is that Mario Barrios is a far more refined version of that threat. He brings pressure and technique. The Romero factor suggests Ryan struggles when he's not the bully. When he's forced to fight off the back foot against someone unafraid of his power, the wheels begin to come off. Barrios has studied the tape. He knows Ryan fades when things get rough, and he has the durability to walk through fire just to reach the chin.
It's Haney, and then what he did in Times Square has a lot of people questioning it. Ryan Garcia is fighting for a world title against Mario Barrios. Barack, I love this matchup. Tank Davis, his adversary, was able to stop Barrios at 140 pounds years ago, and it's safe to say that maybe Barrios is drained at that weight. Maybe 140 was tough for him to make because he's a huge guy, for that weight class. So I like this fight for Ryan Garcia, but I think Ryan has a lot to prove considering his last fight against Rolly, which he was a heavy favorite at. And it wasn't that he got outboxed. People might say that. I feel like he was more, for some reason, gun shy, not pulling the trigger, not actually using his attributes, against a guy like Rolly. I think he's a better fighter, right? But he didn't get the nod. So I think there's pressure on this fight.
I do agree to some extent that, yeah, he's better than what he looked, but that translates into getting outboxed. If that's past him, we already know Ryan Garcia is dangerous, first of all. But 100% Ryan Garcia is very, very dangerous.
Ryan Garcia is known to be a guy who has power, like zipping speed, right? He can hurt you. If he can hurt a guy like Barrios, who's very hard to hurt, especially as of late at 147, to make a statement and say, hey, I'm a strong, hard-hitting welterweight, maybe that conversation again about him fighting maybe a Boots Ennis eventually, or fighting a Conor Ben, those type of big fights, because he can compete in terms of power. Because right now he has a lot to prove. Like, he did so much against Haney, and then what he did in Times Square has a lot of people questioning it. But that's great because that leaves an opportunity.
That leads to the most uncomfortable question of all. Does Ryan even want to be there? This is the mental fragility angle, and it's the hardest one to hear. Trainer Shane McGuigan has suggested that Ryan's lifestyle has eroded his competitive edge. It's the classic story of too much, too soon. The hunger that drives a fighter to wake up at 4 a.m. and run in the cold is hard to maintain when you're worth millions and surrounded by yes men. McGuigan argues Oscar de la Hoya made a massive strategic mistake by signing this fight, placing a fighter with questionable focus against a notoriously durable grinder. It's a high-risk, low-reward scenario. If Ryan loses here, especially after the Romero setback, the conversation shifts dramatically from when he'll become champion to whether he was ever truly that good.
If I was getting, let's just be honest, gifted a world title shot, by the WBC. And if I was in Ryan Garcia's position, I'd probably be singing the praises of Mauricio Suleiman right now as well. They are gifting him this world title shot. Rolly beats him. Ryan gets a world title shot for the WBC. Instead of Rolly getting that shot, it didn't make any sense. But, hey, fair play. You know, he's giving it up. I have to think that has to do, too, with this whole, like, again, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but Zuffa Boxing is making their play right now, and it's essentially Zuffa Boxing versus the sanctioning bodies. And I have to think there's going to be more shots thrown across the bow from the WBC, from Dana White, from Nick Khan, from all these different people. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but I think it's probably just because Ryan's like, yeah, I'm kind of gifted a world title here, so I'm
Fuel to the fire is the belief that Ryan Garcia didn't even deserve this fight. According to analysts, this WBC title shot wasn't earned. It was gifted. In this current timeline, Ryan has taken significant losses, yet somehow leapfrog a line of deserving contenders. The stench of boxing politics is hard to ignore. While real contenders grind in obscurity for years, Ryan's massive social media following and star power appear to have purchased a golden ticket. To purists, it's a classic case of who you know outweighing what you've done.